fucking niggers.
Decadent sluts.
Evil, leftist, lying, garbage. Self-hatred.
Degenerate sacks of filth. Progressive politics is Marxism. It is communism. Wars.
And let's not forget the Jews.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going down the rabbit hole. Let's fucking do this thing.
Aurini then.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash.
he did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of The Descent of Man-osphere. Now, episode 2 is more than appropriate because the person we're dealing with today is an absolutely massive piece of fucking shit. That's right, we're dealing with the man, the myth, the legend in his own fucking head. Davis MJ Aurini. Right, well, how to describe Davis Michael Jackson Aurini? At least I presume that's what the MJ stands for. He must just be a really big fan, you know. Although I wonder if he prefers white Michael Jackson or black Michael Jackson. Well, Davis is a human, I think. Well, Davis is one of the stormtroopers of journalistic ethics and integrity behind the Sarkeesian Effect documentary. And don't worry, we'll get onto that later. And where else to start with Davis but his thoughts on modern female sexuality?
I'm the perfect guy. And yet you throw yourselves at all these obnoxious men instead of me, the supreme gentleman. Spoiled, stuck-up, blonde, slut. You are animals, and I will slaughter you like animals.
See, no, that's not Davis Aurini, that's Elliot Rodger, isn't it? The Isla Vista spree killer who shot and killed 6 people because he was a horrific misogynist. Let's hear what the horrific misogynist in question has to say for himself.
Women in our culture have become the most decadent sluts since the fall of Rome. They spend their prime years in high school in their 20s flirting with the bad boys, pursuing the modern degenerate alpha, the omega, the criminals, the scumbags, going out for gangbangs every weekend and despising the men that would actually treat them with love, dignity, and respect. That women have become like dogs.
Oh, right. Davis, that's basically the same fucking thing, isn't it, mate? See, someone who expresses the same sorts of opinions as a fucking horrible misogynist killer would make him a, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Davis, help me out here.
Degenerate.
That's right, Davis. But I'm just glad you don't have access to and an absolutely bonerific obsession with guns. Oh, that's not good. Not good at all. Just promise me this, Davis, if you ever do use one of those guns on a person, please make sure it's yourself. Now, that clip of him saying modern women are the most decadent sluts since the fall of Rome is his most popular video on his channel. And when I say popular, I mean most viewed, because let's be honest, most people watching that are absolutely horrified by what he has to say, with their jaws on the fucking floor, thinking, how can a man who is clearly too lucid to be fucking insane be saying such fucking crazy shit? But Davis made a video clarifying his position, so let's hear what the half-man, half-turtleneck has to say for himself.
The most decadent slut since the fall of Rome. Now, that's a quote from a video I posted long ago, which has really been making the rounds amongst the anti-Gamergate people to apparently prove I'm misogynist or something like that, and no, which I find absolutely hilarious. Now, on the one hand, the quote's taken out of context.
Context, Davis. Really? You want to fucking go there? Let's have a look at the context.
We entered into a workforce that Grog so aptly described as lesbianized. We have the most fat, disgusting women that have ever existed in history, and who still think they're hot stuff. Man up and marry those sluts is the message that we get. Maybe not all women are worthless nowadays. Maybe 1 out of 10 is marriageable, and that's a very generous estimate.
Right, no, Davis. Even with context, you're still, what's the word?
Degenerately.
Yeah, absolutely you are. Now, by all means, please continue to keep digging the hole for yourself.
I really think that love is so important, and it's not something you play lightly with. You know, this is nuclear material, all right? A broken heart is a tragic thing, and I really feel like we take sex so casually, and we try and separate sex and love from one another. But when you do that, you don't just get fun times at the orgy house. What you get is a lot of sadism and cruelty and nastiness between people. You know, I think sex is sacred, and love is sacred, and you know, these are things that we really undervalue nowadays in society where everybody's for sale.
All women are whores, and that all sex done properly is a financial exchange.
I think sex is sacred, and
all sex done properly is a financial exchange.
love is sacred.
All women are whores.
You know, these are things that we really undervalue nowadays in society where everybody's for sale.
All sex done properly is a financial exchange.
Yeah, I suppose someone who treated sex in that way would be
degenerate.
And that would be especially true of someone who, say, I don't know, moralises on the internet about how women are all sluts and immoral for daring to have open sexuality, and, you know, the importance of strong marriages and strong family units to raise children and stuff, but then went and fucked a married woman who had young children, and not just that, but it was also the wife of one of your best friends. You know, someone who did that, you know, someone like you, Davis, would be a... Come on now, you know. And everyone at home, sing along if you know the words.
Degenerate. Degenerately.
That's right, Davis. You are a degenerate sack of shit. But one good thing comes out of this now, that each time I hear you use the word slut or say someone's immoral for daring to have sex, I can just say, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself, Davis. Why are you being so hard on yourself? Eh? Anyway, Davis, sorry to interrupt you there. You were saying?
Present-day women in North America, you know, the majority of them, are the most decadent sluts since the fall of Rome. And I'm just left baffled with this. Do they have a factual disagreement with this?
Right, so basically you're just doubling down. That's not really clarifying anything, is it, Davis, when you just repeat the same fucking claim again, you stupid twat?
I think the present-day orgy-porny society is grounds for the most decadent civilization since the fall of Rome. I think that's valid grounds. Maybe not as decadent as the Etruscans, you know? I mean, those guys used to carve BDSM scenes onto their religious monuments before they were destroyed by young and vital Rome, before it fell to decadence. But yeah, I think it's a fairly arguable stance. And none of them are presenting arguments that, in fact, we're far more sexually conservative than the ancient Romans were.
No, Davis. Nobody's arguing with a point of fucking history with you, you stupid bastard. Okay? I can't imagine that you're actually stupid enough to believe this, so you must be being disingenuous. The reason people are getting so fucking pissed off with you because of that quote is because you see female sexuality as decadent and, in that sense, wrong. You're not using the word decadent in a positive way there, are you? You're not saying something like, oh, I don't know, that was a decadent, delicious piece of chocolate cake. You're not using it like that. You're saying that it's evil and immoral and fucking wrong, or dare I say it, degenerate. But Davis Aurini's definitely not a misogynist, obviously. Obviously, of course he's fucking not. Why would anyone possibly think that?
All women are whores.
Now, a typical Davis MJ Aurini video will start with him usually with a kind of a pregnant pause, because he wants you to think he's an intellectual, because he's so wrapped up, so fucking obsessed, the very definition of fucking pseudo-intellectualism. And it'll start with him maybe lighting a cigarette and opening either by reading out the title of the fucking video, which you can already see, unless you're blind, I suppose. But the idea that Davis Aurini gives a fuck about anyone who might be in some sort of minority, I don't think he fucking does at all. Or he comes up with some fucking ridiculous, pathetic, pretentious opening line like this.
You know, there's nothing that amuses me as much as an absurd contradiction. Today we're going to take a field trip class. The futility of arguing with feminists. The eternal arrogance of statism. Or, how I learned to stop worrying and love the central plan.
And he will then spend the next 20 to 25 minutes usually rambling on incoherently, making pseudo-intellectual bullshit points, not actually making any serious point, and rambling on and on and on. Right? One of the videos I watched, I think it was called something like The Faults of Liberalism or something, and it was a 25-minute video, and he didn't mention the word liberal, liberalism, or liberals until about 15 fucking minutes in. He had used the word socialist, Marxist, and communist though. And in a typical Aurini video, he will, when he thinks he's made some sort of clever or important point, give one of the cheesiest fucking grins imaginable. I mean, just look at that cheesy fucking grin. That is the smile of a man who absolutely adores the smell of his own farts. And he will then sign off like this.
Aurini out, folks. Aurini out. Aurini out, folks.
Now you'll see from all the lighting and stuff, and there's skulls in the background and all the rest of it, that he wants you to think of him as some dark, kind of brooding intellectual, a kind of emotionally complex fucking, player, a kind of alpha, But when people see that, Davis, they don't think that about you. They think,
you're a cunt. You're a cunt now. You've always been a cunt. And the only thing that's going to change is you're going to become an even bigger cunt.
Anyway, moving on to another topic. What does Davis Aurini think about atheists?
Atheism isn't intellectual. In fact, it's the very opposite.
See, no, that's not Davis Aurini. That's Christian simpleton Kirk Cameron. I don't know what's happening here. Let's hear what the Christian simpleton in question has to say on the topic.
Atheist cult is not a rational movement, but they're not actually interested in understanding what the world really is.
Oh, right, that's the same thing again, isn't it? Davis, do you ever get the feeling you might be a total fucking prick?
I'm not going to improve myself. I'm not going to try and benefit my community or grow something good and positive. No. I'm going to blame others for my failings.
Now, some people have even had the audacity to suggest that Davis Aurini's a bit of a fucking nutcase because of his controversial viewpoints, such as when he said this.
Announcing, everybody be calm, don't worry about the guys with the backpacks. You see the photos, the men that look like SEALs, they look like military, bottom line, are standing around in control of the situation with their backpacks on their cell phones, right in the area across the street where the bomb goes off, where they have the patsy. And I said, if this is the real patsy, because his straps of his backpack match the FBI photos of what was left of the backpack.
No, that's clearly not Davis Aurini. That's conspiracy nutjob Alex Jones talking about the Boston Marathon bombing. One second, everybody. Right, cats. Have you been fucking with these video clips again?
I was just trying to help you.
No, I really don't need your fucking help, thank you very much.
Yes, you do. You are a barbarian. And I am an artist.
You're a dickhead, I know that much. So anyway, what does Davis Aurini have to say about the Boston bombing?
Conspiracy theorist. God, I hate that term. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but about 6 months ago or so, myself, along with my good friend Sturgis from apocalypsecometh.com, were cited over at Red State as being a couple of conspiracy theorists. In my case, because I suggested that the Boston bombing might, just might, have been a plant by the FBI. That the FBI might have provided some of the materials to those two kids in the hopes of manufacturing a crime and arresting them. And I'm a conspiracy theorist for that.
Yes, Davis, precisely. If you agree with the King Kong cunt of the conspirotards, Alex fucking Jones, then yes, you are a conspiracy theorist. And you're a monumental cunt as well. But anyway, I wonder what Davis Aurini has to say about race relations.
I am a huge white nationalist on paper. Fucking niggers.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. Okay, any thoughts on homosexuality, Davis?
Criminal deviance is celebrated. Sexual deviance is celebrated. You're not allowed to criticize homosexuality or transsexuality or anything like that in the mainstream media.
Oh, really? What a fucking surprise that is. Right, I'm going to give you one last chance, you fucking prick. Have you got any thoughts whatsoever about Jewish people?
Keine Phrasen sind. Es ist die Hauptmacht, der wir all dieses Unglück verdanken, das internationale Judendom.
See, that's clearly not him, is it? That's Adolf Hitler, the leader of Nazi Germany. Rory Katz, we can't put in the clip with fucking Adolf Hitler in it. What do you mean, why not? Because it's fucking really offensive and probably libelous. Fucking cat. Anyway, Davis, any thoughts on Jewish people?
So this is a video that I've had a lot of requests for. The Jewish question.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you will get asked that question quite a lot, Davis, when you hang around with neo-Nazi scum, as, you know, you fucking do. If you garner lots of support from white nationalist fuckwads, and if you ever stop to wonder why you might be garnering that sort of support, Davis, then yes, they will ask you about the Jewish question. Because that's the only group that asks that fucking question, because everyone else realises that's really fucked up.
There are a lot of Jews, a disproportionate number, involved in the degeneracy industries. And the fact that Jews never quite seem to fit into society, and do seem to have a slightly hostile agenda, because they managed to maintain this cohesive civilization within European civilization, and yet they had one set of rules for themselves and a different set of rules for outsiders. They managed to essentially cartelize the banking industry. They managed to take control of the banking system, and so we have the Rothschilds. Again, they wound up controlling the banking centers, and people tend not to like banks, especially when in Germany in World War I, the banks destroy the country and make them lose the war.
I bet all you people at home thought that the Hitler comparison was over the top. It wasn't in the fucking slightest, was it? Not just that, Davis, but not only are you expressing the same sorts of opinions as Hitler did, but those are exactly the sorts of fucking opinions that led to the fucking Holocaust.
Let's recognize the fact that the Holocaust is the modern myth.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 1 second, everyone. I won't be a moment. Ah! Shut up! You fucking prick! Cunt! Whew. Sorry about that, everyone. I just had to let out a little bit of primal scream there. So, oh, Davis, there's just nothing redeemable about you, is there? You're just a fucking prick on every level. You're a homophobe, you're a sexist, you're a misogynist, you're a fucking racist, you're a fucking Holocaust denier, you're a conspiracy theorist. There's nothing good about you. You're a pseudo-intellectual, you're a fucking hypocrite, you're just a fucking cunt. Seriously, this has been one of the most trying videos anyone could ever possibly have made. Having to search through fucking Aurini's videos and the Elliot Rodger tapes and all the rest of it. Seriously, there was a bit in here I was going to put in about Aurini being a massive hypocrite, about how he loves the Tea Party protesters, but thought that the police should move on the Occupy Wall Street people, and how that hypocrisy was exactly mirrored by Fox News. But I just thought, I can't look through Fox News clips as well. It's just too much to ask of one man. My fucking brain would have melted. My eyes would have fallen out through my fucking cock and my anus would have prolapsed. It's just, it's too much! Now, I know no one forced me to do this video or anything. Obviously, I took this project on of my own accord. But you fuckers out there better like this fucking video. I swear to fucking God. I've suffered for my fucking craft this week. I really have. Press the fucking like button, you fucks. But for all the amusing comparisons that Rory Katz, has made to different people with Davis Aurini, ranging from simple-minded Christian idiots all the way through to the most evil human being that ever lived, the person Davis Aurini really desperately wants to be is Tyler Durden, who is the Brad Pitt character from Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is...
You should be absolutely furious with the niggers.
The second rule of Fight Club is...
All women are whores.
And he so desperately wants to be him, you know. He wants to be seen as not just hard, but as this kind of intellectual. But Davis Aurini, you will find in all of his videos, he's constantly making the same sorts of pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-philosophical comments that Durden does in the film. And just like the lines that Durden comes out with, on the face of it, they might seem kind of clever or interesting or thought-provoking, but actually you scratch anywhere near below the surface and you find it's just pap. It's just fucking man whining. It's just whinging of the most pathetic fucking kind. Right then, enough of this fucking bollocks, right? Let's get to the meat of why everyone's fucking here. The Sarkeesian effect. Now, whilst most people are looking forward, not necessarily to the film itself, but looking forward in time to what's going to happen next with this project, I'm going to look back, because when the world yings, I yang, motherfuckers. Now, I've already touched on in previous videos the breakup of the Aurini love fest. And the trailer for the documentary was just released recently, and I'll link both of those decadent sluts in the bullbag bar. But I'm now going to do a breakdown of the original video they put up e-begging, I mean asking for donations. So let's fucking do this thing.
Hey everybody, Jordan Owen 42 here.
And this is Davis Aurini.
You know us both from YouTube, where we give our insightful, witty, and often controversial commentary on the news of the day.
Not the least of which is our thoughts on the social justice warriors.
Why the fuck did you put that pause before the word thoughts? Like, what did you have to think of the word thoughts really there? Did you have to stress your brain for that one? Or were you just being a pretentious dick as always? Just speak normally, you fucking twat.
You know who we're talking about.
Anita Sarkeesian,
Jonathan McIntosh,
Zoe Quinn,
Stephanie Guthrie,
Movie Bob Chipman,
and that handsome young guy called Kevin Logan. Oh, it's very nice of you, Jordan. Thank you. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Oh, is it just me, or is it getting hot in here? Ooh.
If you're like us, you've probably noticed that the social justice warriors have come to dominate the discussion with regards to their agenda.
They presented their side of the story. But so far, it's the only side of the story that the media will acknowledge.
To hear them tell it, the social justice warriors are on the side of right, and anyone who opposes or questions them is a cyber stalker, a cyber bully, an internet harasser, a troll, and this is the only story that the media is willing to present.
In one fell swoop, the social justice warriors have silenced all dissenting voices and ushered in a new era of political correctness.
Is there really a targeted effort on the part of the white male-dominated gaming culture to exclude women and minorities from participating?
So we should definitely ask two white, heterosexual, middle-class men for their opinions on this topic, shouldn't we?
It is a profound dereliction of journalistic integrity.
A profound dereliction of journalistic integrity. Just speak normally, you fucking dick.
This ultimate response to the social justice warrior agenda will be a groundbreaking work of investigative journalism.
We're going to be speaking to people who have had their lives ruined by political correctness.
Do you mean guys like Jack Thompson, perhaps? You know, the homophobic, racist, sexist, fucking bigoted piece of shit that you interviewed for the Sarkeesian Effect documentary? That guy? The guy that if Sarkeesian herself had actually said half the fucking crazy shit he had about video games, you'd have torn her to pieces for? You know, the guy that was disbarred from his fucking profession for being a cunt? You know, that if Sarkeesian had done the same thing, you'd be tearing her apart for that as well? Yeah, that guy? That fucking guy? Yeah?
You're probably wondering why we would go to the trouble to make a feature film when YouTube is so readily accessible.
Because YouTube bums couldn't be bothered to go out and get proper fucking jobs? Perhaps.
Remember that Anita Sarkeesian got almost $160,000.
Oh, boo-hoo. Did the lady that you don't like get more money than you? Oh, maybe you should just get the fuck over it already. And this goes to all of you Gamergate fucks. Seriously. Yes, you got $160,000. Who fucking cares? Just get over it. Get on with your fucking lives. Jesus fucking Christ.
With this project, we're taking it to the next level. We're going to be traveling all over the US and Canada. We are going to be doing proper investigative journalism. We're going to create a high-quality product that will go down in the annals of history as a high-quality documentary.
Pizza box.
Our Patreon campaign will put you in the driver's seat.
Patreon? Do you mean Patreon? So even Jordan Owen's now suffering from some sort of osmosis of wankiness from fucking Aurini. That if you spend too long listening to his voice, you start talking like a pretentious prick.
What question have you always wanted to have answered by your favorite social justice warrior?
Why do they keep putting bits in cheese? Like, you know, chives or fucking onion or, you know, cranberry I saw the other day. Why do they keep fucking doing that? Oh, is that not quite the kind of question you were wanting, really? Okay. Well, I'd really like Anita Sarkeesian to answer that question, and her silence on the subject only incriminates her further.
This is about all of us. We are all tired of having our voices silenced by the loud minority.
We're asking our backers to make both monthly and one-time donations over the course of what we expect to be a 5-month filming period.
Yeah, but with a few weeks break in between, you know, to squabble like little fucking children as well.
Davis and I have a combined total of almost 15,000 subscribers.
And probably about 4 inches of cock between you, judging by the fucking overcompensation that you two dickheads regularly engage in.
Don't let these people silence us.
No, you've not been silenced. Clearly you haven't been fucking silenced at all, have you? Because, you know, you're still doing this film. No one's fucking stopped you. So you're not being silenced, you're just being ignored because you're a hateful group of fucking pricks.
$1 a month from each of you would allow us to work miracles. And we've set up some compelling rewards.
And let's look at some of those rewards. For $1, Jordan Owen will lie on his couch half asleep, covered in Dorito chips, and tell you how you should be more motivated. For $5, Davis Aurini will make a personalised video insulting the minority of your choice. And for $10, Jordan Owen will make a video still pretending to be left-wing while telling you how brilliant Ayn Rand is and that she's the greatest person ever. And for $20, Davis Aurini will give you a hand job whilst telling you how evil homosexuality is. Bit weird, that one. But there's also a footnote which says, surely no one in their right fucking mind would still give money to these two fucking con men who've shown themselves to be incapable of working together properly as adults and are clearly incapable of making anything other than an audio-visual abortion of a film. Well, I didn't realise that Patreon made that kind of value judgment on their customers, but it's difficult to argue with them on this one. Their logic is pretty fucking sound, isn't it?
And let's be clear about something. That this film is not going to be harassment. This is not going to be cyberbullying. This is not going to be digging through dirty laundry just to discredit somebody's character. We'll explore the behavior of the people who pick fights with
Kevin Logan
and then find fame and profit out of the resulting tirade they get.
Oh, Davis, that's very nice. I mean, it's a bit white knighting of you, but, you know, I appreciate the thought.
Not a lowbrow attack on Sarkeesian and her cohorts.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He even flips his lighter off like an obnoxious wanker. Fucking hell. Just everything about him's just phony and fucking shit.
So please join us in this groundbreaking journey.
Join us as we shed new light on what can only be described as the Sarkeesian effect.
Oh, that fucking Casio keyboard fucking loop music, which they've used in this and in the trailer. It's like their theme music for the fucking film or whatever. It's just so dreadful. Apparently Jordan Owen is an educated and accomplished composer. Yeah, that's right, yeah, and my left bollock is the King of Spain. How anyone saw this fucking video and thought to themselves, this seems like the kind of venture I'm going to put my hard-earned money into. These two seem like pretty solid kind of guys. But you know what? If you've got more money than sense, that's your fucking problem. It's on you. You got shafted by shysters. You know what? They saw you fucking coming, guys. The relationship between Owen and Aurini has been fraught at times, but it's actually quite fascinating in its own way. And I wonder if Davis Aurini has got any thoughts about interpersonal dynamics between different people.
But here's the thing, if you're a narcissist, if all you have is this fake personality, you don't have love. You don't have anybody intimate with you. And anybody that does become intimate is going to see through your fake personality. They're going to see how pathetic and ugly you are on the inside.
I have decided that it is best for me and best for the project that I terminate my working relationship with Davis Aurini.
Marvellous. But anyway, how to sum up Davis Mohammed Jehovah Aurini? At least I presume that's what the MJ stands for, because, you know, he's all about bringing communities together, you know, interfaith dialogue and all of that. He's a difficult character, really. He's so wrapped up, so utterly consumed with the idea of his own intellect, even though he doesn't really have one, and trying to, you know, exude personality, even though he doesn't fucking have one of those either. He just wants everyone to think of him as this grand other person, and so what he does is just, he's put on this veneer of this kind of complex intellectual, this macho fucking alpha, but he's not. He's just a pathetic, broken child at heart, and he's just so wrapped up with trying to make sure that the world sees him as a